Hey everybody, Happy New Year. I haven't made a video in a while, and mainly because I've been really busy trying to work on a project that I just had to end because of the partnership. The partner is basically why I made this video. So what I wanted to talk about today is essentially how to spot a narcissism in the early stages. Now, this is an individual that I've known, not super well, but known for like 15 years. And we went to college together. So there was a rapport there. We, as far as like professional life goes, we're kind of on parallel. And we had come together to create this project that I was super excited about. I've wanted to do for a long time. And about 2 months in, I realized that he was a narcissist. Now, when I say narcissist, first of all, I just want to say that narcissism runs on a spectrum. We all have narcissistic traits, but if you really wanted to maybe characterize an individual as a narcissist, you're gonna want to go through the list, and if there's say 12 qualities on that list, that person probably would have 8 to 10 of those qualities, okay? And there's different types of narcissism. Typically, we think of a narcissist as someone who's really kind of grandiose, and that's probably, like in my experience, they're the least detrimental. The grandiose narcissists, they just, they think that they're the shit and whatever. To me, they're the most annoying, but they're also the least harmful. The ones that we tend to get in trouble with are like the covert narcissists, the ones that are really sneaky. They're kind of like snakes luring in the garden, and we don't see their behavior oftentimes until it's too late. Now, luckily, because I practice self-respect and self-love, and I know my boundaries, it's been quite a long time since I've had a run-in on a personal level with a narcissist. However, in the business world, I've been still working to weed through them, and it's a little bit trickier because when you're not intimately involved with the person, and it's a more superficial relationship, it can just take more time to kind of figure out their motives. So anyway, and I definitely realized 2 months in, that's what I was dealing with. So one of the things that they do is called bait and switch, all right? So when you get involved with a narcissist, whether it's personal or professional, typically what happens is they really the formally recognized term for this is called love bombing. So they basically make you more or less fall in love with who they are, what they have to offer, what they can bring to the table. Again, it doesn't have to just be a romantic situation. This could be a friendship, this could be a business partnership, it could be a client, it could be anybody. But they're really going to try to win you over. And then once they feel like they have, then they pull the switch. In my case, we had formed the LLC. And once the LLC was formed, it was just like that, where all of his true colors started to come out. And that's when I was like, okay, I've been here before, I'm not gonna do this. And I was just, it wasn't even like something I got emotional over. I just pulled the plug. I was like, I don't get involved with these kind of individuals. I know where this is gonna go. And I was out. So just a few, early signs. If you kind of want to test yourself to find out, like in hindsight, he showed me some red flags, but because again, it was a professional relationship, I decided not to take them into consideration. So one of those things is, if you want to know if someone is narcissistic, one of the best ways to find out is to share something that you are really proud of. If you have accomplished something great, if you have an amazing talent, share that with them. Their feedback will tell you everything. Because if they're not willing to ask more questions and engage more and give you a certain level of like respect, you know you're dealing with a narcissist. So what would the opposite look like? It would look like a kind of like a tuning out, or, you know, good for you, but then they kind of switch gears in the conversation. Downplaying, they'll downplay it, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I've done that too, or I can do that too, or that's not a big deal, or, and then you'll find that you're like, oh, like I think, like you'll feel it, like I thought what I did was really great, and they're kind of making it sound like it's no big deal. Listen to that energetic feedback that you get, because it's crucial. The thing that I noticed first when I realized I was dealing with a narcissist was that I felt destabilized. Destabilization is another word for confusion. But confusion exists more in the brain or the mind, like I don't know what's going on here, whereas destabilization is like I don't know where I stand. So you don't know where you stand with this person. And they tend to constantly change the game, change the rules. Oh, you're not keeping up. No, that's not what I said. No, you misinterpreted. And so you feel like you're kind of trying to chase them for clarity, and you never get it. And when you think you get it, and then they change it again, you know. And in my case, it was, you're not keeping up, you're not pulling your weight. And I'm like, okay, but I did what we agreed I would do, and now you just changed the rules. So, you know, another word for that is gaslighting. So they kind of make you feel like you misinterpreted them the whole time. And it leads to psychological confusion, and definitely a sense of like destabilization, meaning that you just do not know at any time where you really stand with this person. So if that is coming into the picture, bye-bye. And then they have a sense of like wanting to do things at like warp speed. So if you're dating someone and they're like, they propose to you after a month, run. The reason that they rush is because if they can corner you before they reveal their truth, then you're kind of in bed with them and you're screwed. And once, like the more that they can wear down your identity and wear down your self-respect, the easier it is for them to manipulate you, because ultimately the only thing they really cared about is control. And here's the thing. I don't personally believe that people who are deeply narcissistic are trying to be assholes. It's been my experience that they're just so rooted in insecurity that their survival mechanism just plays out in massive projection. So it's not like they're out to get you specifically. And this tends to be like when you're healing from a narcissistic relationship, you're like, why me? Why me? Why me? The only thing you need to understand is that you didn't have enough self-respect going in. That's it. Narcissists don't discriminate. They're going to treat everyone like garbage, okay? Because everyone is a threat to their image. And because they're so deeply rooted in insecurity, they have to micromanage all of their circumstances. It doesn't matter who's in the picture. Like, it's completely irrelevant who's in their life. They are going to find a way to micromanage them. So there's a sense of rushing. And in his case, like it was like if we launched this business in 6 weeks or 6 months, didn't really make a difference in 6 years. But in his mind, oh, no, it needed to happen yesterday. And that was pretty fatiguing. And so rushing. The other thing, and you can do this as a direct test, is accountability. So narcissists have zero accountability. They will never apologize, and they will never go, oh, you're right, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. So a good way to test the narcissist out is to basically say something along the lines of, hey, you know, what you said, blah, 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 made me feel blank. Their response will tell you everything. If they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean for that to come across that way. You know, this is actually what I really meant, you know, and they want to talk about it, you're fine. If they gaslight you and you say you have no idea what you're talking about, you, they spin it and go, you did this, or you misinterpreted, or you. If they start the sentence with you, then you know you're dealing with someone who will be projecting, and it's always going to be your fault. And it's a no-win situation. It's just a no-win situation. And the thing about about narcissists and the people who end up being attracted to them is that on some subconscious level, we like have this like, I can figure it out and I can be the rescuer and I can heal this person. Okay, that's about you. And I promise you, the more you do that, the more you're going to be beaten down, because you're not going to win here. The only way that you're going to win with a narcissist is to pull away and say bye-bye. And as a result, what you learn are more boundaries, more self-respect, and more self-love. But yeah, so the destabilization feeling, not being respected for what you bring to the table or some of your accomplishments, a sense of rushing and lack of accountability are some of the best ways to kind of test it going in. You know, in my situation, like this last year of my life has been so fatiguing. You know, litigation will wear you down. Litigation really rivals like the death of a loved one or a divorce or something. It's really hard on a person psychologically, and because you're just constantly on the defense, having to defend yourself, right? Whether it's like literal in the moment or just kind of like this overall theme. So litigation is awful, and I've been doing my best to keep up, but you know, I'm not in 5th or 6th gear these days. I'm more in like 2nd or 3rd gear operating. And so my general fatigue, my general psychological exhaustion kind of didn't numb me to the signs, but like I just wasn't quick to react to the signs. Although as soon as he did pull the bait and switch, I knew. And like I said, there's no winning with a narcissist. All you got to do is just pull out and be done. That's how you win. And they're really, really good at manipulating you and making you feel like you can't do this without me. No one will ever love you like I did. You'll never be successful without me. You can't do this on your own. Like, they are masters of that garbage. And let me just tell you right now, it's 100% projection. That's them talking about themselves. It has nothing to do with you. So I'm going to proceed with this project because it is a deep core dream. And I know that on a bigger level, this is something that kind of needs to be brought to humanity. And I'm just going to be a conduit of that. And I'm going to continue to come from that creative space and collaborate and make it happen. What happens to him is on him. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to, subscribe to my YouTube and share the video, or message me if you've ever dealt with someone of this nature. They're slippery. They are so slippery. I mean, now it's like not total child's play seeing them, but once you kind of recognize how they make you feel, that's also a really good indicator to know what you're dealing with. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, whatever, and I'll see you next time. Bye.